This is going to sound like I'm teaching you to lie in your next interview. That's how it feels the first time someone explains it to you. Because what I'm about to hand you is a list of moments where the honest answer costs you the job, even when there's nothing wrong with you as a person. And the version I'm giving you instead isn't a lie. It's the answer people who actually get hired already know to give. Nobody sits you down and teaches you this. It's not a class. And when nobody teaches you the real rules, breaking them by accident feels like getting punished for a crime you didn't know existed. I'm Amar, and I explain things like this for a living. Today I'm walking you through 9 moments where the truth works against you, and exactly what to say instead. Number 1. Tell me about yourself. Most people answer this like they're reading their resume out loud, listing jobs in chronological order, and hoping the interviewer connects the dots themselves. Picture 2 candidates. One spends 3 minutes on where he went to school and what his first job was before finally mentioning the one project that's actually relevant to the role. The other opens with what he does right now in 1 sentence and works backward from there. The second one gets remembered. Here's what's actually being asked. Can you tell me what matters, in order, without me having to dig for it? Start with what you do right now in 1 sentence. Then give one relevant piece of background that explains how you got good at it. Then land on why you're sitting in that chair. Something like, I've spent the last 3 years building out onboarding systems for a mid-sized team. Before that, I was doing something adjacent that taught me the fundamentals. And I'm here because this role is basically the next level version of what I've already been doing. That's it. You're not hiding your story. You're just putting the important part first. Number 2. What's your greatest weakness? Everyone knows the fake answer. I work too hard. I care too much. I'm a perfectionist. That answer has been recycled so many times, it's basically a tell at this point. And any experienced interviewer files it under one word: dodge. It tells them you'd rather perform confidence than show them an actual person. What you want instead is a real weakness that won't disqualify you for the job, paired with what you're actively doing about it. If you're applying for a role heavy on public speaking, don't pick public anxiety as your weakness, but something like, I used to avoid giving feedback because I didn't want the conversation to be awkward. So I started using a simple framework: situation, behavior, impact. And it's made those conversations feel less personal and more useful. That's a real answer. It shows self-awareness, and it shows you fix things instead of just noticing them. Number 3. What are your salary expectations? Most people either blurt out a number too early or say something vague like, I'm flexible, hoping to dodge the question. Both hurt you. Giving an exact number first sets your own ceiling before anyone's made a case for you. Saying you're flexible signals you haven't done your research. The move is to give a range, anchored to actual market data for the role and region, not to what you currently make. Something like, based on what I'm seeing for this role at companies of similar size, I'd expect something in the range of X to Y, but I'm open to discussing the full package once we're further along. You've shown you did your homework, and you haven't handed over your leverage for free. Number 4. Tell me about a time you failed. People panic here and pick one of 2 bad options. Either a fake humble failure, like, I used to double-check my work too much, or a real failure, where they quietly blame everyone else the whole way through. Imagine someone describing a missed deadline where the story somehow ends up being the fault of 3 other people and a scheduling tool with 0 mention of what they do differently. That tells an interviewer nothing except that accountability isn't this person's strong suit. What works is picking a real failure, owning your part specifically, and ending on the exact behavior change it caused. I launched a feature without fully testing an edge case. It caused a rollback and cost the team 2 days. Now, I build a testing checklist into every project plan before I write a single line of code. Concrete mistake? Concrete fix. That's the whole formula. Number 5. Are you interviewing anywhere else? Saying no might feel honest, but it quietly signals nobody else wants you either. Naming the exact company you're also talking to can backfire, especially in smaller industries where people move between companies and know each other. Acknowledge you're in process without handing over details. I'm in later stage conversations with a couple of other teams right now, but this role is the one I'm most excited about based on what we've talked through today. That does 2 things at once. It signals you're in demand, and it signals you're still choosing this company over the alternative, which is exactly the mindset that makes someone move fast on an offer. Number 6. What's the most challenging part of your current role? This feels like an invitation to vent, and a lot of candidates take it. They'll talk about being under-resourced or how priorities keep shifting every 2 weeks. Even if every word is true, What an interviewer actually hears is a preview of how you'll talk about them in a year. Keep the challenge real, but frame it forward. The hardest part has been operating without a lot of process in place, which has taught me how to build structure from scratch instead of relying on one that already exists. You've named a real difficulty and turned it into evidence of a skill instead of a red flag. Number 7. How do you handle conflict with a coworker? 2 answers kill this one. I don't really have conflict. I get along with everyone, which signals either avoidance or dishonesty. Or the opposite. A story with so much tension, the interviewer starts wondering if you're the common denominator. Pick a small, real disagreement and make the resolution the actual point of the story. A coworker and I disagreed on how to prioritize a project, so I asked for 15 minutes to walk through both approaches side by side, and we ended up combining pieces of each. It wasn't dramatic, but it taught me most conflict is really just 2 people optimizing for slightly different things. Boring, specific, and exactly what gets remembered as mature instead of dramatic. Number 8. What are you looking for in your next role? People go generic here. Growth opportunities, a collaborative team, a chance to make an impact. That could describe any job at any company, which means the interviewer can't tell if you actually want this one or just a paycheck. Name something specific this role actually offers, and connect it to something specific about you. I've been doing individual contributor work for 3 years, and I'm ready to start mentoring, which is something I saw as a real part of this role based on the team structure you described earlier. Now the interviewer knows exactly why this job fits you, instead of guessing. Number 9, and this one closes out most interviews. Why should we hire you over other candidates? Most people answer with adjectives: hardworking, team player, fast learner. Every candidate says some version of that, so it tells the interviewer nothing that separates you from the stack of resumes on their desk. What works is one specific, provable thing you've done that's directly relevant to this role. In my last role, I rebuilt our reporting process and cut the time it took to close out monthly numbers from 5 days to 2. That's the exact kind of problem I understand this role is trying to solve. That's not a personality trait, that's proof. And proof is the only thing that actually separates candidates in a room full of people who all describe themselves as hardworking. Interviews aren't a lie detector test. They're a negotiation for how your story gets told. The facts don't change, only which ones you lead with do.